Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.
Hello and welcome to Nirmal Bang, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiral Dadia. We have with us Teresa John, research analyst, economist, joining in. Teresa, welcome to the show and a very good morning. My first question coming to you is the kind of recovery that we are seeing from March lows with regards to the economy. The anticipation is that we will better with regards the GDP as well. Uh, Overall, we have Q2 GDP that will be released today. What's your expectation?
So we are expecting Q2 GDP to decline by 8.2%, which is a significant improvement from a 23.9% decline in the previous quarter. The recovery at this point is being led by manufacturing, which is industry as a whole, which is mining, manufacturing, and electricity put together. Agriculture will continue to do well, a slight uptick from the number that we saw in the previous quarter.
Huh. Right. So, are we trying to say that it's going to be industry as well as agriculture, which is going to come to the rescue in the second quarter? And if yes, which are the other? I mean, if you have to talk about the services side of it, are you expecting that similar kind of slowdown? And additionally, if you talk about the trade side of business as well, are you expecting similar kind of slowdown?
So the services also we will see a recovery, but it's not going to be as sharp as it is for industry. Agriculture was in positive territory in the previous quarter at 3.4%. That is going up slightly to 4% growth. So it's still in positive territory. On the services side, it was close to a 25% decline in the previous quarter. That comes down by half to around 11.5%. In the trade, hotels, transport, and communication, that will see the sharpest decline. It's an improvement from the previous quarter, but still it's going to be a 25% decline in trade, hotels, transport, and communication.
Right. And do you think that the government spending is something which is continuing to be a drag? Because overall, if you go to see, even from the bank's perspective, the credit growth has been slow. However, the deposit growth has been really strong. So, what do you make of this?
Yeah, on the services side, the government spending last quarter actually wasn't, it was a 13.5% growth, government spending alone. But public administration, defense services, which I mean, government spending kind of feeds into that component of GDP, public administration, defense services. That was still in decline, but it was a single digit decline. So we're not seeing a significant improvement from those levels in public administration and defense services, mainly because government expenditure is in the second quarter is seeing a decline of around close to 10%. Whereas last quarter it was in positive territory of 13.5%. So while other services are recovering, government spending is now turning negative. So that is why overall the public administration defense services will not see recovery in this quarter.
Right. And overall, due to the festive season, it seems that the demand was really strong. Now, is that suggesting that Q3 and Q4 will show us some bit of positivity?
I mean, there is some talk of growth returning into positive territory in the third quarter of this financial year itself. I mean, actually, the RBI has said there is a possibility of, return to positive territory in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. We are actually more conservative, mainly because if you look at past data and we've done some studies on past pandemics, we find that the impact or negative impact on growth could linger on because of sustained containment measures, even if we don't have a full lockdown. So we don't expect a return to positive territory for the whole of this fiscal year. In the third quarter, we are expecting a decline of around 2%, and in the fourth quarter, it's flat growth. So basically, it's 0% growth in the fourth quarter of FY21.
Right. And any changes, Teresa, with regards to full year? Because earlier, to what I understand, a 9.4% kind of a decline was what we were estimating. But taking the recovery that we've seen on the back of the festive season, do the GDP estimates change for FY21?
Yeah, right. So for now, the 9.4% decline that it's improved to a 8.5% decline, which is mainly because we revised up the numbers slightly for the third quarter from which was a negative 4.4 to negative 2%. And in the fourth quarter, it was a negative 1.5%, which has come now to 0%. So we have revised up our numbers because the festive season has been good and there's been pent up demand that has come through. And as I said, the manufacturing recovery has been pretty strong. So that is why we reversed up the numbers, but we are a little conservative on the services side, mainly because the high contacts intensity services will take longer to recover. And in India, 65% of GDP comes from services, and globally also the share of services in GDP has gone up significantly over the years. So that is why we feel that the recovery in the services sector could take a little bit longer.
Right. So going ahead, Teresa, what are the other factors we should be watching out for with regards to economic growth?
Basically, we will track all the high frequency indicators which are coming through. We have now data for the month of October. Uh, and from between September and October, the number of indicators in positive territory has broadly been flat, but we have close to 60%, so around 57% of indicators now in positive territory. This is partially supported by a low base last year in September and October. So we would watch if this trend kind of sustains into November, December, and going into the fourth quarter, because to see whether whether it's a pent up demand or whether demand has actually come back, and whether the recovery is entirely sustainable. We'd also watch the trajectory of the virus curve. So far, what we've been seeing is that the number of active cases in India has been coming down over the past few fortnights, but now I think we have seen some stagnation in that, so that we would also keep a watch on that.
Right. So, with all of the macro data that we will be watching out for, Teresa, what's the impact that you're expected to see on the bond yields? Because the anticipation is, and the way FIs have been behaving right now, a lot of money is flowing into the country. Are you expecting this trend to continue?
Yeah, so we are seeing a lot of FII money coming into the country, but that is going into equities, unfortunately, not
Correct.
into bonds. Bond deals, because I think, the FIIs may not be too comfortable putting money into the bond market. We're not expecting them to pull out money, but I don't think they're too. Compared to that, bond deals are relatively contained because of the liquidity situation and RBI's OMO or operations.
Mm.
So I don't think FPIs are very comfortable putting in money at this point in time because of the negative yield and negative real yield situation that we are seeing in the country. But I think FPI flows into equities will continue, at least for the next couple of months, mainly because the global central banks have pumped in liquidity of around 6.3 trillion as of now. That's like the highest level that we've seen in terms of infusion of liquidity, and that liquidity is now coming into some of the emerging markets, and India is one of the countries that is benefiting from that.
Right. And very lastly, Teresa, overall, now, with the way the banking system has been functioning, the way the recovery has been happening, with the RBI's next meeting, are you expecting there could possibly be another rate cut?
No, so the next meeting is going to be next week on December 4th. We are not expecting a rate cut, mainly because inflation remains elevated, compared to the RBI's
Hmm.
the target inflation, which should be in the range of 4 to 6%. But we do expect inflation to come off, particularly on the food side, and it could come between the 4 to 6% range in the next couple of months. So we are expecting at least another 25 to 50 basis of rate cuts, but no rate cut in December.
Right, so no rate cut in December is what could be on the cards. And a negative print is something that could continue on the GDP front as well. Thank you so much, Teresa, for joining us on the show. It was a pleasure to speak to you and understand what we could be expecting from the print today and what are the key factors we should be watching out for going ahead. Thank you and stay safe.
Thank you.